And welcome to the weekly show.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Well, I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
That's good.
So we've got a lot on the show today. We've got Trish Haggerty from the Amityville Fire Department.
Yay,
It
Trish.
is October, so it is,
Fire Prevention Awareness Month, right?
That's right, Fire Prevention Awareness Month. So we're going to shoot over to the firehouse and talk to them. And we also have
Liz Whalen.
Right, and she's a performance coach.
And she's going to explain to me what that is.
That's right. Now it's encompasses a lot of stuff, but I think it's a great subject, and I've been waiting for such a long time to get somebody to come on and talk about this. So I think this is going to be great. So why don't we shoot over to the firehouse and see what Kyle's doing at the Amityville Fire Department.
Cool. Hey everybody, this is Kyle from Inravio.com, and we're here at Amityville Fire Department in New York as part of October's Fire Prevention Month. We're going to be learning a few tips and tricks on how to prevent fires, talk to an actual second lieutenant, and figure out how we can make these lovely people a little less busy by being a little bit smarter. Let's check it out right now. We're lucky enough to be standing with Second Lieutenant of Rescue, Patricia Haggerty at Amityville Fire Department. Well, we're here today for October's Fire Prevention Month, and we're going to try and figure out a few tips, tricks, things that you're trying to give across to people so that they could be a little more fire conscious, a little fire safe. So what are some of the more common fire hazards that people may not be aware of?
Well, it is called fire prevention. It is actually not just fire prevention, it's overall safety. We go as far as kids wearing helmets when they ride their bikes to holding a hand of an adult crossing the street. But in the fire prevention aspect of it, literally taking the fire part of it, we do teach children and actually the seniors to learn how to stop, drop, and roll. And if they do have fire on their person, we also teach them to exit the house if it is on fire, to listen to the smoke alarms and have smoke alarms in your home that do function, and not to ignore it because you think mommy's making dinner or daddy's making dinner.
Common at my house,
Yes,
it's hard to distinguish what's real and what's just bad cooking.
And you know, when you have hardwired smoke detectors, they all go off when one goes off. So it's sometimes a little disconcerting, but it's a great time to practice. And we also teach kids, once they do leave the house, not to go back in. The majority of deaths and fatalities in children and young adults is from going back in and getting a pet or forgetting their computer on the table or something like that.
Right, so once you leave the house, that's it, no period, no returning back.
Do not go back in. And then once you are out, you do have a meeting place that everybody knows where to go to.
So if there's multiple people in the house, obviously finding some kind of rendezvous point or something of that sort would be good.
Exactly.
It's exciting stuff. Well, thank you so much. Obviously, you guys are incredibly busy. We're going to get out of your hair. But Fire Prevention Month this October, make sure you don't plug in your outlet with a power cord and another power cord like I do. Apparently, it's bad. That's very bad, apparently. Patricia, thank you so much. This is Kyle from Inravio.com. Stay safe out there, everybody.
A lot of information, very important, and you know what? I mean, there's so much fire safety. There's a lot more things you can do. So, you can Google Fire Awareness Month and come up with a lot more things that you can, safety tips that you can worry about, which is very important. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to Liz Whalen.
Okay.
Performance coach.
It's always been important to us to have music a part of our lives, part of our children's lives. At Village Music Shop, Bonnie and Chuck have not only made it possible for our kids to learn and understand and read music and enjoy playing a musical instrument, but they've also made it fun.
I really like coming here. I like coming to Village Music because everybody here is nice.
And they've inspired some creativity and imagination and taught them discipline. And along the way, they've gotten some self-confidence, really been like a part of our family.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
What's up, guys? We're Scan On Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The time has come. Are you ready? Spooky Walk at Camp Aquatic is back and scarier than ever. Tickets are $20 at the gate, with all proceeds supporting the camp. Visit SpookyWalk.com.
Hi, my name is Aaron from Real Big Fish.
And I'm Ed from Real Big Fish.
And you're watching the Inravio TV network.
And welcome back.
Welcome back.
We are here with our very special guest, Liz Whalen, who is a performance coach. And I'm just now learning what that is, so we're going to talk to her and get some more information about.
So Liz, what is a performance coach? Tell us.
Great question. Thanks for asking. So in the context that I use it, it's a way for busy professionals to increase their energy, focus, and productivity so that they can reach peak performance at work and in life.
Wow.
So it's a little more than just a life coach, I guess, because you're doing a lot more stuff.
Absolutely. So it incorporates leadership skills with well-being, so personal well-being. I have a background in business and finance as well as holistic healing, so I combine the two.
So it's health, it's mind, it's body.
Exactly, yeah. It's a really unique approach.
It sounds really cool. What got you into doing this?
So I used to work on Wall Street. I worked at Goldman Sachs for 5 years. And shortly after I started feeling the effects of stress take their toll on my body. I had terrible insomnia. I couldn't fall asleep at night. I'd be lying awake staring at the ceiling all night.
Wow.
So I'd go to work exhausted every day. I started getting digestive issues as a result. I had back pain, terrible back pain, even anxiety. And I said to myself at one point, I was like, what's going on? I'm only in my 20s. I shouldn't be feeling this horrible already. So someone suggested that I try yoga. So I started going to yoga. And I stuck with it. In the beginning, I was like, oh, this is kind of boring. I don't know if I want to do this. But I stuck with it, and it helped. I started sleeping better at night. I started learning how to manage my stress. And then I really got into the philosophy of it and the spiritual side, and that just completely changed my life. It shifted my entire perspective on the world, and there was no turning back from there. So I ended up leaving Wall Street, studying holistic healing, specifically Ayurveda, which is the sister science to yoga. It's a form of holistic healing. I studied that, and I opened my private practice in the beginning of 2013.
Wow.
Now, who is this good for? Is this any specific person this is good for?
So it's good for everyone, but specifically the people I work with are entrepreneurs and executives. I really like to work with high achievers who have a reach, because when I affect one person in a positive way and they feel better, there's a rippling effect. And it affects everyone around them, everyone they come into contact with, the people they manage, the people they do business with, even the people at home, their friends, their family.
Wow. So it's more than food. It's yoga. It's not yoga, but it's kind of like yoga.
Yes. Good question. Because some people don't like yoga, and don't worry, you don't have to do yoga. But we can use some of the principles and incorporate them, like mindfulness, bringing more mindfulness and mindful awareness into our lives. So a big piece of the work I do is actually with mindset. So for instance, say we get into a tough situation and things are not going the way we want to. We're naturally programmed to think about the negative things, right? So we'll start focusing on, this isn't going right, this isn't going right. But when we do that, we're actually creating more of what we don't want in our lives by focusing, because by focusing on the negative, we're creating more negative. Where we focus is what grows in our life. So I really coach my clients on keeping that mindset for success, helping them stay positive, think of solutions instead of focusing on problems. And that's just a small piece of it. Another big piece is stress management. Because stress, they say in Ayurveda, the form of healing that I practice, that stress causes about 90% of disease.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it's proven by science, it's backed by science. There's a whole physiological response when we go into a state of stress. A little bit of stress is necessary to move forward in life, but a chronic state of moderate to severe stress leads to disease. It affects your performance, it affects your ability to think clearly, to sleep at night, to make good decisions. It affects your mood, that affects your relationships. Your whole entire life is affected by your stress.
And then it's a snowball effect like we were talking about before,
Yeah.
where you can't sleep well, you get up, you're already kind of tired, and it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Absolutely, yeah. And another big thing that people I saw started coming to me with was different types of back pain. And that led me to get my certification as a personal trainer to help them strengthen the muscles that support their back and their posture. But as I went further down my work, I came to realize that a lot of it relates back to stress. And the mental and emotional tensions that we hold inside, they get seated deep within the muscles and they turn into pain. So it can be body pain and such as back pain.
That's very true. I found when I can sit at my desk all day long and be totally fine. Soon as I start working on my taxes, right shoulder blade, pain.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's true every
I
time.
normally feel that in my wallet. That's where I think I feel that there. And
No, it's every single time. And if I'm working on the books, that's right shoulder pain, shoulder blade. I don't get it. So you were talking about balance.
Yes.
What do you mean by balance? What is that?
So balance, not just work-life balance, but personal well-being and success at work, because they do go hand in hand. I see so many times, especially executives and entrepreneurs, people who are very busy, they often sacrifice their own personal health in pursuit of this business goal, right? But if we take the time to nourish ourselves, like getting proper rest, doing things to manage stress, taking time to prepare a meal instead of grabbing something at the food cart, all of these things are going to make us perform better, and as a result, we'll start making more money in our business. The people that we manage will start doing better because we'll be better leaders. And it just all affects each other. So ultimately, by taking care of ourselves, we can have more successful businesses.
It kind of leads to all these things we heard all the years of our lives growing up. You know, mom is better if she takes care of herself, but mom never does take care of herself. And the glass is half full thing. You know, all of these things are things that we've been taught forever, but nobody ever pays any attention to.
Yeah, exactly.
so now, you know, you have stress, and you don't even know how much stress you have, because over time it just kind of keeps building up.
Yeah.
So somebody could have so much stress, and they really wouldn't even know. It's just like a little bit more,
Yeah.
a little bit more, a little bit more. So you don't ever really know where your stress level is.
That's an excellent point. What happens is our bodies adapt and we become comfortable being uncomfortable. And we forget what it feels like to feel good, right? Sometimes we get so used to the discomfort and the little nagging symptoms that we experience that we don't even realize we have them after a while. We're still suffering from them, but it becomes a part of our normal life. And we forget that we have the birthright to feel great every day. We don't have to be in pain and exhausted and all that. So yeah, it's a great point.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So what other areas and what other things do you coach with that?
Yeah, so it's stress management, mindset, holistic nutrition, exercise hacks. I know everyone who's busy doesn't like to make time to exercise a lot, but even if we can do short bursts, it's very helpful. It helps with our energy levels, it helps with our digestion, it helps with our focus, it helps with so many things. So that's a piece of it. And mindset, I already mentioned, and exercise, mindset, nutrition, and sleep. Sleep is huge. So that was my biggest issue, was that as soon as I get very stressed, I stop sleeping well. And that affects every other area of your life. So that's a big pain point for me. So I work with a lot of people who have difficulties sleeping well at night.
I've always noticed that when I get really upset, I have to sleep. Even if it's for an hour, I don't know why. I sleep and then I feel a little bit better. I'm not as stressed out.
It's probably zapping your energy, making you tired, so you need to sleep to recover. Yeah, stress takes a lot of energy out of us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So do you have like little things that you, like a quick, this is, you've got a lot of stress, do this, this will help you?
Yes, great question. So one thing we can do when we start to get stressed, often our posture will suffer and we'll start to round our backs, especially if we're sitting at a desk, working at a desk or driving in the car, and our shoulders round, and what happens is this collapses our rib cage and it's harder to get a full breath. So the biggest thing you can do to help yourself if you're feeling stressed is to sit up nice and tall in your chair, roll your shoulders back, and take a big deep breath. Just close your eyes for a minute. If you inhale through your nose and then just let it out through your mouth with a nice sigh, that can release so much stress in 10 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, just deep breathing relieves the stress, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, the sigh, is it almost like a psychological, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, you're releasing that tension, because the tension, like I mentioned before, gets built up in the body and held in the musculature. So when we sit up tall, take that deep breath in and then we force it out, we're literally like throwing that tension out of our body.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
kind of a metaphorical throwing it away kind of thing.
Yeah.
Throwing it away type
Exactly.
of thing, yeah.
Wow.
So what other things results can people get from this as well?
Yeah, so
Besides relieving the stress and some of the other things you talked about.
yeah, that's a great one. Besides decreased stress, they can look to have more energy, increased energy, better mental clarity, better focus, better decision making, better creativity and problem solving, better relationships, and a better mood. So when you're in a better mood, the people around you are going to feel better, right? Because you affect other people, whether you want to or not. So every aspect of your life can change. You can have less risk for disease, better health, better sleep at night. The possibilities are endless.
Wow.
And is this something that you think is just like a local thing? I think everybody has stress. I mean, there's different levels, I guess,
Yeah.
depending on if you're working on Wall Street or if you're, working somewhere else. But I think everybody has stress today, pretty
Absolutely.
much.
And each one of us is experiencing the world from our own unique perspective. So what stresses one person might not stress another. Everyone has their individual experience and they perceive stress in different ways. And that's the beauty of Ayurveda, the healing science that I practice. It focuses on the unique individual, and there's no one size fits all. So one technique might be right for one person, while another technique might be right for a different person.
Right.
So yeah,
So you kind of customize it based on the person's needs.
exactly. Everything.
How can you tell what they need?
Well, that's a great question too. So without giving you too much detail into Ayurveda, it's based off of the person's unique constitution called a dosha, and it takes into account their mental and physical attributes, and this puts them into one of three main categories, and it tells us about their general temperament and likes and dislikes and things that balance them. So that's a big part of it. Also, just working with the person, talking with them, understanding what kind of things motivate them, what kind of things don't motivate them, what they like, what will fit into their lifestyle, right? If they're a busy mom with, 3 kids, a full-time job, and they go to the soccer games and they're volunteering, they're not going to have time to prepare elaborate meals, let's say, not that anyone does these days, but, just really taking into account the person's lifestyle, their preferences, and their unique constitution.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Does the Ayurveda?
Ayurveda.
Okay, is that, now you said it's kind of like an exercise, that's part of it, exercise, right? Or no?
It's a very small part of it, not really. It's
Okay.
mostly based on lifestyle choices. So getting back in tune with our natural environment. So getting back in tune with our circadian rhythms, going to sleep at certain times, waking up at certain times, eating at certain times, if physical activity at certain times. So there's different times of the day that are best for different things. And they come around, twice a day usually. So different people can have different times of the day, and that's where the customization comes in. So but finding our peak time for different activities so that we always function at our best.
Wow. So even eating and when to wake up, when to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So a routine is a good thing then.
Yes, routine is a huge part of it. And in Ayurveda, the word for daily routine is dinacharya. We have all these great words. But that's a huge part of it, because when we get into a good routine, our body likes routine. It starts to function more efficiently. For instance, if we eat at the same time each day, our body knows when to expect the food, so it'll start producing the digestive enzymes at that time so we can more efficiently process the food. And digestion is a huge part of overall well-being, because when our digestion isn't functioning properly, again, it zaps our energy, it decreases our immunity, so we're more likely to get sick, and we're just not going to feel great, and toxins can start to build up in our body and lead to more serious things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what if you were working with, say, a couple or a family or something, and their rhythms and it doesn't work out to be the same?
Yeah.
What happens then?
That happens a lot because, like I said, everyone's unique. Sometimes in a family, you'll see some people are in the same rhythms because they've been around each other a lot, but not all the time. So you really have to honor the unique individual and find ways to cohabitate where you can complement each other and, you know, have a nice flow. So for instance, if somebody's more of a night owl while someone else needs to go to bed earlier, the person who needs to go to bed earlier should go to bed earlier, but the other person can learn to, you know, maybe not make as much noise or kind of respect that need and not force them to stay up and watch TV all night because they want company. You know, just learning to work together and communicate and really have empathy and compassion for the people around you so that you can live harmoniously together.
Oh, you hit that nail on the head, because I'm going to go to bed early and she's a stay up all night. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, that's really cool.
I didn't tell her that, too. She just came up with
Well, I think that's probably a very, very common thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When someone prefers to exercise and when someone else does, you know, some people are mornings and some people are,
Yeah.
sure.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
A big part of it too is with meal preparation, especially with kids. Kids don't want to eat anything healthy, right?
Right, yes.
So there's lots of tips and tricks, and you can even, like with kids, there's a lot of tricks. You can sneak things in or make things look fun, but even like husbands and wives might not like to eat the same thing. So there's a way we can make the food like a base meal and then have additives for either one that are simple but can change the flavors for the person's preference or needs.
Now, do you do like one-on-ones? Do you do groups? Do
Yeah.
you do classes? Do you
So
like?
I do a lot of workshops, and I primarily work one-on-one. So I tend to work with people for a period of 6 months, because if they want to get real lasting results and change their habits and make lasting change, it takes at least 3 months to start to put those new habits into their routine, and then I like to stay on with them for some time longer to make sure they don't fall back. And we're always adding on. We add on slowly. When I work with somebody, I don't overhaul their whole lifestyle because that's not sustainable, you know?
Right.
We work step by step and we add changes as they're ready so that they can be lasting changes. And yeah, but I do speaking. I go into companies and I do lunch and learns. I do a lot of workshops, as I mentioned, so different things like that.
Right.
How would you do it in a workshop environment? I mean, you have like a big questionnaire, or I mean, how would you do that?
Well, I usually go in with a theme. So for instance, if somebody invited me recently to speak to their team on how to avoid the afternoon energy slump.
Okay.
So we can talk about that. So yeah, it has to be very specific if I'm working with a group, because everyone's so unique and individual.
Sure.
And I will give different options though for different people within the group based on that topic.
Mm-hmm.
We can't cover everything in, you know,
Right.
Right, in a group,
at
Sure.
once. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell everybody, go have a Snickers bar when some people are allergic to peanuts.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense. Well, that's really cool. There's a
Thanks.
lot of information there.
That's great.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
appreciate you coming down and enlightening us on.
Yeah.
I've always thought that stress has been a really big portion of my life. You know, on everything,
Yeah,
aches and pains. And,
yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
great that you recognize that.
yeah.
Now all we have to do is get them to fix it.
Well, yeah, that's the first step, is becoming aware of
There
it.
you go.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Now, you have several websites, or
I have
just tell us
one
what you got?
main website. It's thewisdomofwellness.com.
Okay.
So I just revamped that actually recently. There's some great free gifts on there, a report on how to improve your sleep. I have a mini training series on how to 10 times your energy, focus, and productivity, and it touches on 5 main areas that contribute to that. And there's some other goodies on there as well. So if you like the stuff I was talking about, folks can sign up for my newsletter where I send out articles that I write and nice little tips.
Okay.
Very
I
cool.
believe we had that on the screen. Now that is, what is it again?
Thewisdomofwellness.com.
Okay, the wisdomofwellness.com. Very cool. And you have a Facebook, I assume?
Yes, same name.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I appreciate you coming down.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Hi there, this is Buddy from Less Than Jake, and you are listening to Inravio TV. You're probably watching it too.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
The time has come. Are you ready? Spooky Walk at Camp Aquatic is back and scarier than ever. Tickets are $20 at the gate with all proceeds supporting the camp. Visit SpookyWalk.com.
Hey, I'm Raoul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Merch Weller. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Well, welcome back. That's our show for today. That was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
So catch us next week on our regular time, Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Yes.
And don't forget, Fire Prevention Month and stress can kill, so you gotta be careful.
See, that is exactly what we were talking about. That's that glass is half empty kind of a way of, no.
Think happy. Don't worry.
Fixing stress will make you feel better.
That's right.
See, that's a better way to look at
That's a better way to look at it.
Mhm.
Exactly.
See, I learned.
Get the stress out. we need no stress with a circle with a line through it.
That's right.
That's
Yes.
what we need, right?
Mhm.
That's what we need t-shirts like that. Well, until next week, we'll see you. Take care.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.